Time to the biggest merger story of the week, and much bigger when you look at the big picture. It's the largest proposed acquisition of an American company ever by a Chinese conglomerate. Shuanghui is bidding for pork producer Smithfield Foods $4.7 billion. It still has to be approved by U.S. regulators at the Committee on Foreign Investments, and its members routinely nix these mergers for, quote, national security reasons. But my next guest, who did recommend one such merger in the past be squashed, now says he's fine with this deal to acquire Smithfield. He is Senator John Hoeven of North Dakota. It's a Fox Business exclusive. Good to have you on the horn here, Senator. Why are you okay with this particular deal?
Hi, Liz. Good to be with you. Well, I think the Committee on Foreign Investment will look at it. Obviously, anytime the Chinese are making a major acquisition of an American company, we're going to check it out. It does raise some concerns, but I think, again, the Committee on Foreign Investments is going to look at it. I think it likely will be approved.
Okay, so you think it'll be approved, but let's talk about the focus of it. Now, the problem with some of the mergers in the past was that they involved energy. For example, Unocal. Unocal was summarily squashed by a lot of people in Congress because they said energy is a national resource. It matters to our national security. Well, doesn't food, Senator, matter to our national security?
I think, of course it does. But you got to realize, we not only produce more than enough to feed our people, but obviously to feed much of the world. We're going to continue to do that. That is a valid concern and something that will be evaluated. In the context of this acquisition, though, I think we're going to find that we do have food security, we do have the proper laws and regulations in place, and that's going to continue. On the energy front, we're dependent on countries like the Middle East, and we've got to break that. We've got to produce our own energy and work with Canada to become energy independent. And I think that's the difference between the mergers you cited, or the acquisitions you cited, excuse me.
The merger attempt that you didn't like was CNOOC trying to buy Nexen, which is actually a Canadian oil and gas company. The U.S. ended up approving that. So you'd even be concerned about our neighbors to the north making certain deals with the Chinese?
You know, my real concern is that President Obama, this administration, is holding up projects like the Keystone XL pipeline and has been for 5 years. So instead of working with Canada to create energy independence in this country, we remain dependent on the Middle East while China is buying up oil resources in Canada. And so I was trying to make the point very clearly, look, that is not the way we should be doing business. This administration has to get on board with our efforts to make our country energy independent.
Okay, and let me just ask one more question, because Smithfield is so important when it comes to the pork supply chain. The Chinese are the largest consumers of pork. They absolutely love it. What happens if there's, I'm thinking down the line, a drought where there isn't enough grain to feed the pork, to feed the pigs, and then suddenly we don't have enough for people here in this country? Do you see any problem with anything like that? And it's okay if you don't. I'm just trying to look ahead and see what potential issues might arise.
I don't see that as likely, Liz. The real issue for us in this industry is concentration. Whether you're talking pork or beef, we have a very concentrated number of very large companies that run the processing industry. And remember, we want competition. That's what serves consumers, both in terms of choice and price. That's the bigger issue for us right now in the pork and beef processing industry.
Senator, we'll watch this deal closely, see if it goes through. You are for it. We'll talk to you again, I'm sure, down the line. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Very good to talk with you, Liz. Thank you.
Anytime. Senator John Hoeven of North Dakota. We've got